Hi, it's Gita, and this is Slightly Suspect, a look at the shady side of politics. And today I want to talk about DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, because today I'm deep in my outrage. Did we get totally played? Or maybe I should just speak for myself. Did I get totally played? Because I've got to admit, when I first heard about DOGE, I was all about it. I thought it was a good idea. I think every large organization, whether it be the government or a large corporation, it needs a checkup once in a while. Things just go on autopilot and programs continue even when priorities change. There are always some low performing individuals. There are always some places to get some cost savings. I thought it was not a bad idea, and I thought it could do us a lot of good because, as you may have guessed, I'm pretty fiscally conservative. I really would like to see a balanced budget. The Department of Government Efficiency was established by this presidential order on January 20th, and you can find this right on the White House website. And the part in yellow down here says what its purpose is. And I don't know if you can read that. It says, this executive order establishes the Department of Government Efficiency to implement the president's DOGE agenda by modernizing federal technology and software to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. That sounded pretty good to me. Maybe their plan was to get to that later. I haven't heard anything about software, but I have seen them doing a lot of indiscriminate cutting of jobs, eliminating whole departments, eliminating programs that don't align with the president's agenda. So then in February, he came back with another executive order establishing the DOGE Workforce Initiative to sort of explain why in the 3-week period, DOGE was doing something that seemed pretty different from what it was founded for. But still, in spite of all of that, I was still basically on board. I mean, I know cuts are going to hurt. It never feels good to cut things, but I don't see any way out of our debt crisis unless we learn to be responsible with our money and we start passing balanced budgets and eventually budgets with a surplus so we can pay down that national debt. So I was still giving them the benefit of the doubt. What was the target for these budget cuts? That's been a moving target. Back in November, when it was still Musk and Ramaswamy, they were going around on all the talk shows talking about cutting $2 trillion out of the budget to come up with a balanced budget for fiscal year 2025. I didn't think that was possible even then, and that rapidly went out the window, and it slowly eroded to being $2 trillion in cuts over 10 years. And now in February, I heard President Trump and Musk on Fox News talking about it being $1 trillion. I'm not sure how many years that's over. I'm guessing it's probably over 10 years. So the target has come down considerably. And is there anything off limits in these budget cuts? Well, here's President Trump in his own words.
I think he's going to find $1 trillion.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think it's a very small percentage. Social Security won't be touched. Other than if there's fraud or something, we're going to find it's going to be strengthened, but won't be touched. Medicare, Medicaid, none of that stuff is going to be touched. Nothing.
Well, that's interesting, because if you remember from an earlier video of mine, here's what we spent our money on in 2024. And most of the stuff he's looking at is way down here. So I don't see how it's possible to balance the budget without cutting Social Security or some of our health care programs. So if we want to get a balanced budget without touching those programs, how can we do it? Well, you raise revenues. That's how. But we're also planning to cut revenues by another 4.5 trillion over this time period. And none of this makes sense to me. So I started getting suspicious of DOGE, very suspicious. And then yesterday was the straw that broke the camel's back. The House of Representatives finally published their proposed budget. And here it is. This is the document itself, published yesterday. You can find it on congress.gov. You can find it on govtracks.us. It's available in a lot of places. And here are the proposed deficits in that document. You can see up at the top, $2 trillion in deficits in fiscal year 2025. Deficit, 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 all the way down to 2034, $2.1 trillion deficit. And here is the national debt, going up to 37.6 trillion for fiscal year 2025 from around 36 trillion where we are today, going up, going up, going up, going up, all the way up to $55.5 trillion in fiscal year 2034. Where is our efficiency? Where is our savings? Where is our fiscal responsibility? If DOGE is not really about any of those things, what is it about?